Assalamu alaikum, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We're discussing JNCIS-SP, that is service provider course. There is 3 module, routing, switching, and MPLS. So we're in MPLS. Last class we discussed module 12. No, module 11. RSVP, LSP failures, errors, and session metrics. Today we discuss primary and secondary paths. How we define primary and secondary path in RSVP under MPLS. Okay. So we're making the traffic engineering path, that means LSP path. You can mention one link will be primary and another link will be the secondary. Okay. You have an option to configure or define this. Okay, so how to do this? Let's start. So there is, I think, including lab, there is 5 sections. Number 1, primary and secondary paths, configuring primary and secondary paths, standby secondary paths, pre-installing backup paths into the forwarding table. Last one is the lab. We will practice it. Okay. So this is the terminology and acronyms which is used in MPLS technology, already discussed. So say here, this is our topology. There is router 1. Router 1 is ingress router for this path. This is the direct path. That is, you can call its primary path. And another one path is dotted path. That is secondary path. Okay. So calculate a new path in terms of failure. For a new path, use similar links to previous path. That means blue LSP, that is blue LSP, router 1, then router 2, router 1, then router 2, router 3, router 4, then router 5 is the shortest path by default. What if the router 3 and router 4 link fails? Router 3 and 4 link fails. What will be happen? The traffic will be coming to router 3, then goes to router 8, then router 9, then router 10, then router. This will be the alternative. Okay, so new path, this will be the new path. First 2 hops are the same. That means router 1, router 2, and router 3. That is same. If you are in router 1, router 2, and router 3, same. These are the new router 8, 9, 10. These are the new. Does this matter? In some networks, not at all. In other networks, you might want to avoid links or nodes near the fault. So we have alternative links. So need to push this push the traffic through the alternative links if base path intermediate link goes down. Primary and secondary. You can create multiple name path for an LSP to use, configured as primary and secondary. You can add constraint to his path. That means you can add bandwidth, admin groups, straight and loose hops. You can even have multiple secondary paths. Not only mention one secondary path, you can mention multiple secondary. But primary path will be one. Primary path comes up, secondary path is used if the primary fails. Normal behavior. When the primary path is available, traffic reverts back after 60 seconds. They will take only 60 seconds. Okay, so this is the primary path, router 1 to router 5. Here in diagram, this is arrow line, blue arrow line. This is the primary path. And secondary path, this is the secondary path. If any intermediate link goes down, you can make this path will be the secondary. Okay. Or this one, another secondary path. So if link goes down here, the secondary path will be this one. So we have to make this. Okay. So for first section, it's a theoretical section. Some question answer is coming here. Number one question is, which constant can be added while creating a new path to the LSP? Admin groups, bandwidth. If we use CSPF, then we can add the admin groups. So otherwise, no need to add the admin groups. When we creating LSP with no CSPF, that means you no need to add admin groups. Just mention the bandwidth here. Okay, number question two. Question number two, what is the purpose of creating secondary path? Have an alternative path until the primary path is signaled as stable. This is the purpose. Number one. Number two, achieve the smallest cutover delay with the minimal disruption. That is another point. Why are we creating the secondary? Number three, what are the benefits of secondary path? Always shares links with the primary path. Requires limited constraint to create a new path. Adds network diversity. That means your link will be converged within a very short time. That is the achievement of creating the secondary path. So now we're in configuring the configuration section, that is configuring primary and secondary path. It's the acronyms and terminology. And here, primary and secondary path configuration, how to configure the path. So based on our topology, you can select one path via R3 as a loose hope. We know already what is the loose hope. Loose hope means this destination is not directly connected. That is called the loose hope. Straight hope, that means it's a directly connected next hop. It's a directly connected next hop. So when we select the path using the loose hope, we can set the remote destination. If we set the straight, we have to mention the directly next hop. So number one, the example, we're configuring the path in router 1. Path 1 is via router 3. Via router 3. I mean router 1. Via router 3. That means this is the router 3. And another one is router 6. Router 6. So 6 is directly connected. So in that case, we're using here straight. We're using here straight. But in router 3, there is remote, not directly connected. This next hop is not directly connected. In that case, we can use loose. Okay. So set two paths here. Number one path is via router 3, another path is via router 6. So how to set this? So go to edit protocol, MPLS. Under MPLS, nothing is here. No MPLS is here. So there. iNet.0 only. Maybe reset. Maybe reset. Just checking here. So uh, Maybe it's a different lab. I think it's a default configuration. Okay, not a issue. I'm just showing you the load vector default. So there is no configuration. Not at all. So delete this one. So okay. Just load factory default, and set system name BMX1. Set this. Set system host time BX1. Set system temperature on. Yeah. Okay. Set system authentication plain text password root 3 root 3. Okay. Edit protocol ALS. So before next class, I will cover up this configuration. Maybe configuration is reset. Maybe. Okay. So I have to set the path. Number one, we have to set interface. Backbone interface is 0 by 0 by 0 and 0 by 0 by 1. Interface GE dash 0 by 0 by 0. It is the MPLS, and another interface is 1. Commit. Okay. Set, and I have to mention the path. Set protocol MPLS, then path. So set here, set path, mention the destination, set path, name of the labels is path. Here, example path is via R3, via R3, and the destination is router 3 loopback 192.168.1.3. See here, 192.168.1.3. Okay, so take this one. One 192.168.3. Then the state lows. Next hop might not be adjusted. That is lows. So this is path 1, and set another path via R6. And for R6, the next hop 1.6, 92168.1.6. That is directly connected router next hop 1.6. So that's why it's called the straight. So via 192.168.1.6 straight. So I define one path, this path, and alternative path is this one. Let's move. Primary and secondary path LSP configuration. So you have to create the LSP. So the LSP name is router 1 to router 5. The destination is router 5 loopback IP. And the primary path will be via router 3, and the secondary path will be via router 6. So now create the LSP. Our target LSP will be router 1 is the ingress router, router 5 is the egress router. My destination is 1.5. So I'm in router 1, My destination is 1.5. That's good. So creating LSP using primary and secondary. Set label switch path, set the path name, router 1, 2, router 5. Okay, then 2. At 2, I have to mention the destination 192.168.1.5. It's the destination, and LSP, say here primary option, primary. This is the primary preferred path, primary, and the path name. So what is the path name here? Our primary path name is router 3, and another option is available here, standby and secondary. The backup path is secondary. Secondary path will be which one? Via router 6. So set here router 6. So my LSP created using primary and secondary. Primary and secondary path. Now see this. So that's okay. I show you how to create the primary path and secondary path and how to attach primary and secondary path in individual LSP. Okay. Now the verification. Show MPLS LSP in grace detail. You will get the detail, the primary and secondary path options. So in my lab, maybe something wrong or configuration is reset. So verification command, I will show you in next class, but I will show you now the only configuration. Okay. So if I place this command, that will be, I will get down because rest of the configuration is completed. And show MPLS LSP. This is down. That case, you will not get the details information. Extensive, extensive, extensive. You will get all things, but service status stuff. Let's move our next. Moving to the secondary path, if just shut down this link, traffic will automatically travel through router 6 as a secondary path. As a secondary path. Okay. So tries to calculate a new primary path. It can, if it can't, it tries again every 30 seconds. So secondary path, show MPLS LSP in grace detail. If primary path goes down, you will get secondary path as an active path. And you will get related others information like RRO, ERO. So 3 revertive timers. When I create the LSP, so I can set the LSP default timer, or I can customize the LSP default timer. There is 3 control timers. Number 1 is retry limit, retry timer, and revert timer. Total 3. So retry limit, the number of times Junos will try to find a new primary path. The default is 0, which means unlimited. So we can set here the number. The retry timer, the regular time interval that Junos waits before trying to find a new path, default is 30 seconds. You can set the custom time. The revert timer. Once the primary path is up, the wait time before traffic is moved to it, default is 60 seconds. You can modify this. Okay, so these are the timer option, 3 timer options. So you can, if you want, you can modify. So keep as a default. Now move. So turning off reward behavior, configure reward timer of 0. You can set. Okay. Manually moving to the secondary path. If you manually move, so you can configure select manual on the secondary. That means secondary path comes up immediately and is used for forwarding. Primary path remains up, but it is not used. In some condition, your primary path, you will get some error because of fiber loss or SAP problem. You can redirect traffic to your secondary path. In that case, you can set the select manual. Okay. Alternatively, select unconditional forces the move even if the secondary path cannot be formed. So this is the another option you can use. So after that, we're in the question and answer section. Number one question is, which configuration statement affects the new path to inherit the constraints on the LSP, the labels whisper? Number two, which statement is used as an alternative strategy involving both primary and secondary path during configuration? Reward timer. Which configuration does Junos try to find a new primary path for every 30 seconds? Retry timer. They are searching new primary path. The interval is 30 seconds. So another option is standby secondary path. So we already shared there is multiple secondary path. So if I configure multiple secondary path, we can use the standby secondary paths also. So how to do this? The primary path is blank primary and path blank is secondary. So here the primary path, this LSP use the primary path that is blank primary and secondary path is blank secondary. We can mention here standby. Is standby. So what is the benefit? What is the benefit when we configure standby? Simply add the standby statement to your secondary path. The two named paths have no constant, they are empty. Primary path will take the metrically based path. Secondary path adds a metric, this one, to all primary links and then calculate the metrically based path. So this is the principle. Standby secondary path. Show MPLS LSP in great detail. You will get standby options. Standby secondary path, the trade-offs. So what is the trade-offs? Standby secondary path increase the state in the network. If you configure them on its LSP, you double the RSVP state. Your weakest router decide the protocol and design that you can host in your network. So multiple trade-offs here. So we're in now question and answer section. Question one is, what is the state of RSVP when standby secondary paths are configured on an LSP? It's doubled, basically. What are the benefits of using standby secondary path? Number one is, has no downtime associated with calculation and signaling. There is the main or important point. Goes a long way around the network for forward. Otherwise, it will take time to switch over primary to secondary. Pre-installing backup paths into the forwarding table. So see here, this is the route table. Route table labels switch path showing the router 1 to router 5. This is the route table and the associated LSP next hop. And this is the details of this route, like this next hop is selected. This next hop is selected. Okay. Show route forwarding table matching this route extensive, and see here the next stop is 10.1 to the 2, 10.1 to the 2. Another next stop 10.1.6.6. So this will the best or selected next. Load balancing in Junos part 1. So if you want to load balance the traffic, we can do. So in Juniper, you have to create the policy mentioning the load balance under the policy and apply the forwarding table. Apply this policy in the forwarding table. It can be happened per packet base, or it can be happened per session base or per flow base. Here they're showing the per packet statement. So create set policy from policy statement load balance. This is the name here. Then load balance per packet. This is the key one. Load balance per packet. And apply this policy to forwarding table. Apply this policy to forwarding table. So you will get load balance options in Juniper. By default, they will not make load balance. So in Junos 21.4, load balance per flow was added there. You can also use load balance per flow. After that, you will get, if you check this one, you will get multiple next stop as a in forwarding table. That means load balance already happened after committing the policy. So if you want to load balance in both primary and secondary, you can do. So extra, you have to create the policy and apply the forwarding table. That's it. Nothing else. So after completing this section, the question answer, the question one is, which path is considered as the primary path when load balancing is enabled? Load balancing is enabled. Prefix with lower weight. Prefix with lower weight. Considering the weight. What are the advantages of backup paths? Smaller routers can handle the backup path without overwhelming the network. They're not creating the new path, discover the new path, then push the traffic to the new path. A route that has the numerical lowest weight is always better. So number 3, how can you pre-install backup path into a Junos forwarding table? By enabling load balancing policy. So that is all for this session. I just add here load balance options, load balance. Here is load balance command. No, just showing you here load balance. Yes, load balance perfect. How to configure load balance in Junos? So first one is have to create the policy option policy statement. You can set policy name. A policy name is user defined. You can set any name here. So I said the load balance name is load balance. Then the action, which will be the action. The action is load balance. Type load balancing forwarding table. The action is load balance, then per packet. So you are adding the load balance policy and set this load balance policy in forwarding table. Then export, set the load balance policy. So that's it. Simple. Create policy and apply this policy in forwarding table. So that is the configuration of this section. In next class, I will show the 12 done. 13. In 13, I will cover up multi-base configuration and check maybe some router reset the configuration. I will cover up before next class. Okay. So any question? Alvarez? Is it okay? Alvarez? Are you hear me? Okay. Okay. So next class, see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.